Okay, we're back, and today we're going to talk sprayers. What kind of sprayer should you use when if you're gonna paint a fence, or you're gonna start painting some trim inside? So there's a different sprayer for different uses. So we're gonna kind of go over those sprayers a little bit and hopefully help you decide. Now, of course, this is one of our other instant request topics that we got. So, we heard about this, about a month ago? So now we're putting out the video because it's an instant request.
Right.
So
1 month later.
exactly.
It
So
is summer.
yeah. So before we get started, make sure you click on the bell. That way you get notified next time. And of course, you want to subscribe. That way you get notified also. And leave a message down below. If you've got any questions, we're always willing to answer those. So let's start off with a quick share here. And so you can
Mhm.
see what we're talking about. And this is a kind of your basic airless sprayer.
Yeah. So airless sprayer. So they use just high pressure pump to atomize the paint. So it's just pushing the paint through that little nozzle under high pressure.
Right.
So you're not using any air. So a lot of pros to this one, the speed and coverage. It's very fast.
Yes.
Ideal for large surfaces, especially walls and fences, siding, ceilings.
Just large
Also,
surfaces.
yeah,
Okay.
especially textured surfaces, and then porous, like, we have a lot of stucco.
Okay.
So it penetrates better. With being high pressure, it helps paint penetrate that surface much better. So,
Gets it into the nooks and crannies.
not just that, but into the pores of the actual, concrete or stucco. The down here, like Sherwin-Williams, their exterior paints, their super paint, it's waterproof if you do 2 coats.
Oh, wow.
So it's real important. We check the alkalinity of the stucco. You don't want the pH to be too far off. And don't get me into that. I'm not a chemist. Don't even remember what the number I'm looking for. But anyway, long story short, after the pH is good, then 2 coats of, a good base and primer and paint, and you're good to go through the hurricanes. The block doesn't really absorb that much water,
Oh,
which
that's
is
pretty cool.
right.
And
Um,
you're using one of these airless sprayers,
Airless, high pressure. Yes.
and you because it'll put the volume on there to help it absorb and allow that material to soak it up and drink it up and absorb it, probably.
Right, but you're doing it under a higher pressure, so it's literally shooting it. It's like a tattoo, right? You're
Oh,
shooting the paint into the surface. So things like rough surfaces like paint, like fencing panels or stucco, concrete, brick, that's definitely the way to paint because it'll do a large area quick and penetrate the surface better. It also can handle thicker paints.
okay.
You're just raising the pump pressure, right? So the pump just has to work a little harder, but it can push a thicker paint through. And then you have minimal,
Without thinning it.
right. And then you get minimal overspray or bounce back because you really just whatever's coming out is going directly at that surface. So you're not getting a cloud around your surface and all that. So, or bounce back.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so then like talk about you got a couple of different variations. This is your single,
Right.
right? So this is cup attached. The European model we've determined.
Yes, because of the plug there, we just noticed that.
But I do like the fact that it's made in America.
Yes, it has the flag.
Yeah.
And here's the next one up, which you'll see on a construction site a lot, because
Yeah.
you take the 5 gallon bucket, you put that hose in there, and then you can just walk around and start spraying. And it'll apply it. You've got enough hose here
Yeah,
to do
you
a lot of
probably a
work done.
25 or 30-foot hose. It also, if you notice, has the bypass. So if you stop spraying, it just starts pumping it back into the bucket. So you're not just wasting it. That's similar to the style that I had. Um, no real complaints. The nice thing about these is they're fairly easy to clean too. Because you're literally just putting a bucket of water underneath it, assuming you're spraying water based. You
Yeah.
just put a bucket of water there and just hold the trigger. And it just pumps it through, pumps it through. A couple of drops of soap will help clean it through. Fairly simple to clean.
Yeah. And these a lot of the paint stores will rent them for you. You don't have to go buy one. The rental places will just rent them for a day or two. So if you've got a large project, you don't have to go out and spend the money to buy one of these things. You can
Yeah.
actually just rent it for the day or two that you need it.
Yeah, because they do vary in price. I mean, when it comes to paint sprayers, you get what you paid for.
Yes. And
Yeah.
this one's not going to be cheap. And of course, the next one, that one, that's going to set you back a couple of grand.
Oh, easily.
And
That's like
that,
super commercial.
yes, this one's going to knock down some paint, and you don't have to worry about being plugged in somewhere. So it's all self-sufficient.
No, I think that's the one you plug into you drop into the 55-gallon drum. You just
Yeah.
start doing the exterior of the building. I mean, the only downside to that one is it's probably not recommended in enclosed places.
Well, yeah. A warehouse would probably be okay, but if you're not
Yeah.
going to paint the house with that,
Now, don't do your basement with that.
no, no, because you're going to suffocate yourself.
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide
So,
poisoning.
so the only downside to these, high pressure to atomize, so you can get more mist, some overspray. You don't get as much bounce back, but you still get overspray,
Uh-huh.
um, so that you have some waste. But I find that if you adjust them properly, adjust your pressures, the correct nozzle, the orifice in the nozzle, thicker paints, larger, and so on. I don't think it's that bad. It's definitely not good for detail work. The
No,
fan patterns on these are typically not very nice, not very adjustable. It's either coming out or it's not coming out.
and you're not going to be painting up against trim and
Yeah.
doing that kind of stuff. It's large for large areas, doing ceilings or
Yeah, and it's
entire
and it's
wall.
gonna it is gonna leave more texture. The paint's not gonna lay down quite as well because you're actually building surface quicker. So it's likely to show more texture. And then it's just a little bit more time consuming to clean these, but I don't know if that's really true. I mean, even my HVLP guns, which we're going to talk about next, I got to disassemble them and toothbrush them and wire brush. And
Yep.
these I actually almost think are easier because you can just set
Run
the
the
bucket there, just let it cycle through,
right.
as long as you're changing the water, it's going to clean itself out, right? And then you just
Yep.
take apart a few of the parts. It's the same difference to me. They're
Yep.
both a pain in the ass.
But if you're painting all day and you're going to be painting for 6, 7 hours, these sprayers you're gonna get a lot more done with a sprayer than you are with a brush and a roller.
Oh, absolutely. That's the upside. So if I got to spend an extra 20 minutes cleaning it, it's fine because I didn't spend an extra 2 days,
Yes.
actually applying paint.
Right.
So I agree. Yeah.
And getting it from the bucket to the wall. Yeah. So HVLP. So what's that stand for?
So that's your high volume, low pressure sprayers. So these are using air pressure to atomize the paint, but they're using a low pressure. So usually between 5 and 10 pounds. So you're not blowing paint everywhere. Just does a nice job. It's
And
better for trim work, that's for sure.
yeah, so now this is going to lay down an even layer. You can
Yeah,
probably you can cut in with these a little bit better.
yeah, it's going to give you a better fine finish. That nozzle that you see on there, as you rotate it, the fan, like the way that's set right now, your spray pattern is vertical.
Correct.
If you rotate that, go that way, and you go left and right, you can actually sort of get it to align. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a lot easier to adjust that one.
And
So these are actually excellent for cabinetry, smooth finish work, doors and trim. And
yep.
yes, we do that all the time. I have a sprayer in my garage that I use. Efficient transfer rate. It says more paint ends up on the surface than you will with the pressure sprayer. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
They both have some amount of overspray, so I suppose in lab testing it might be true,
But you're
but
not going to go through as much paint with
no.
trigger pull on this than you are with the other one. Plus, you're going to have to thin this down a little bit, probably.
That's the other thing. You got better control, but yeah, the cleaning operation's a little easier, but you're absolutely right. You can't use thick paints with those. So if you got to thin them down, and you don't really want to thin them too much because then they don't do what they do. Like glossy won't be glossy if you thin it.
Sure.
But even here, we use the airless sprayers for exterior latex, and we want it thick, and we're not worried about texture and things like that.
Yep.
But interior trim, we still shoot high quality oil-based paint.
Oh, you do down there.
Yeah, I
Huh.
won't use I won't use latex for trim paint. It just doesn't lay down nice.
Got it.
So we still shoot oil. So it's funny when we get a house prepped to do trim, get all the trim, they do all the sanding, get everything all prepped. You after they spray, it's like you don't go in there for 2 days.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
needs time to cure and the house needs time to air out, but
Uh-huh.
you can't beat it.
Is that low VOC paint that you're using there?
It is low VOC, but it still smells like, if it was high VOC, I don't think we'd go in for 2 weeks.
So on the HVLP, these are the smaller ones that you can get, and
Mhm.
you can pick them up at the big box stores. They tend to work really well. Um, then you have the next size up, and this is what we've got in our shop for spraying cabinetry and stuff. It works great. This is almost like a vacuum cleaner, except for the hose that connects to it, that's on the exhaust side. So it's the vacuum exhaust that's actually blowing through this, and that's what's creating
The low pressure to atomize it.
the low pressure, correct? So and those work really well, and we've had one for many many years, and it works absolutely fine.
Well, and like I said, when they say that the airless is harder to clean, I don't know. I mean, like that gun, you got to take. Obviously, you have to clean the jug,
Right?
the dip tube. Then you've got the nozzle, the tip, and you still got to go through all that with like the welder tip cleaners, and you know what I mean. Get all that
Yep.
stuff out of there. So I think they both take time, and the tool will last you as long as it will if you maintain it. They're great. Add a
Yep.
little WD-40 through them when you're done.
Yeah. And then the last HVLP is that's what we're used to seeing.
And mine's similar to that. So mine, I have this gun, but my paint can is on top. So mine
Oh.
actually feeds from the top, is gravity fed,
Hmm.
and then I can go drop my pressures down. And
Right.
I have one of these that cost me, I don't know, $500 or $600, and I have one of those that cost me $99, and the one that cost me $99 works better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very irritating when that happens.
Yes. And this is going to hook up to a standard air compressor, but you're just going to dial down the actual line pressure going to it.
Going to it, but there's also, so the two adjustments that you have are your paint, and there's the back is the paint flow.
Right.
As you crank that in, you get less paint. You open it up, you get more paint. And the other one is your fan width. So that one you can adjust the amount of fan, the width. So I can bring that down. I can still turn the pattern. Controlling the air pressure is everything. So the downside to this setup is you really need, and I have it set up, but I have a dryer.
Hmm.
So it's the two canisters. So it goes from the compressor. You've got the two canisters. So you're taking any water that's possibly in your system, taking that out so you're not spitting water.
Right.
So
And throwing fish eyes on your product, your finished product.
exactly. And that's all because you're using a compressor. And unless the tanks are always emptied, and like where I live is high humidity. So it's insane the amount of water you can pick up just from compressing air here.
Right. So just to recap real quick on these sprayers, you've got the standard airless sprayer, which everybody might think that's the way to go because I don't need an air compressor. But the reality is, if you're doing big jobs, that's fine. But if you're going to try and spray cabinetry, you're going to have paint all over the place, and it's just going to be too thick on your cabinetry, and you're going to have a lot of issues. So
Right.
that's where
No,
you go to the high volume, low pressure, and use those instead. And it's still faster and more efficient to spray out a job, especially new construction, than
Mhm.
it is to try and roll it and brush and roll the whole thing. You
Yeah,
could
and
be there for months.
well, and that's it. And you can't brush and roll, shaker style doors.
Right.
You'd never get it correct, so you spray over them. So, and
Yep.
it's funny because like most of our trim down here is color. It's either white or off white, or we've done colors,
Right.
but you very rarely see stained woodwork here.
Example is right behind you.
Yeah, exactly. We do
That's
colors.
right. And that's all something, that's all stuff you built and made,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So
And sprayed with my HVLP
yeah, see, there you go. Perfect
in place.
example.
Yep.
So, all right. If you got any questions about spraying, make sure you just run down below there and leave a quick comment, and we'll answer that. In the meantime, click on that bell and hit that subscribe button. That way you get notified next time we post something new. And keep it square and level.
Till next time.
Until next time, there you go.